Good afternoon, guys. It's Mrs. Moore. Thought I would squeeze in another story to read to you before I have to go to late bus duty. Um, we are less than a day away from ending the school year. It's been a great year. Um, I hope you've learned a lot and they have big plans for the summer. Today, I'm going to read a book that I've already read, I think, to all of my classes. But I'm going to read it again because it's one of my favorite books. And we've talked about this in class, why it's one of my favorite books. It's called The Secret Lives of Fireflies, and it's by Belinda Wilson. Belinda Wilson, the author of the book, is my aunt. She is my dad's youngest sister. Like I said in class, we call her Aunt Benny. And she's super funny, and she's working on her second book. It's being illustrated now, called Willie the Knock-Kneed Woolly Worm, I think. That's one of the reasons I like this. One, I love the colors that the illustrator used. I think it looks very lifelike with fireflies and the blue jar. Another reason I like it is because this little firefly right here is my youngest daughter, who's getting ready to graduate from high school this weekend. My Gracie, when she was about 2 or 3 years old, my aunt asked for a picture of her and said, "Hey, we'd like to put her on the book. Is that okay?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And so the illustrator took that photograph that we sent and she illustrated it and made Gracie a firefly. And she shows up 2 or 3 times with it in the book. If I remember, I'll point her out to you. But we're coming up on summer vacation where the days are getting longer and we're spending more time outside at night, and you'll be able to find the fireflies. So another good reason is now you'll know what fireflies do in the daytime when they're not out at night. All right, let's get started. The Secret Lives of Fireflies by Belinda S. Wilson, or better known as Aunt Benny at our house. And it's illustrated by Jacqueline Gudel. Gudel? I hope I'm saying her name right. Gudel. Okay. And everybody in this book, I've told the kids, is either someone that is related to my aunt or someone that my aunt knows. So, for example, the pictures here, this is her youngest son, Corey, and her oldest son, Chris. And wait a minute, got that backwards. Corey, Chris. And then I'm not sure who this little kid is, but and I'm sure she told me at one time. I just have a really bad memory. Have you ever watched the fireflies flying high up in the sky? You try to catch them in your hand as they go flying by. I never liked catching fireflies. I don't like things that buzz and swarm and fly. It creeps me out, but my kids loved them, and lots of you guys love them too. You love to catch fireflies. I'd sit outside with Grandma, watching them light up the night. I'd ask her, where did fireflies go when the dark turned into night? She said that people think they're bugs with little lights that glow, but there's something special about them not many people know. Now, this page is these 2 pages are pretty special too, because this lady right here is my uncle's mom, so it would be my aunt's mother-in-law, and this is their granddaughter, Corey, their youngest son. That's his daughter, Maya. And the porch that they're sitting on is the porch of one of the houses that my aunt used to live in, and that's their cat that they used to have. And then that's a picture again of Maya in front of that porch. But if you look really close, right there, that's my Gracie. She's a little firefly. Do you wonder in the daytime why they're so hard to see? It's because each one turns out its light and turns into a fairy. She said that when the sun came up and turned the night to day, we'd hide and try to watch and see what they did all day. And there's Maya and it would be her great-grandmother again. And the really interesting thing about this picture is it's actually 2 pictures. This picture with her hand right here, That's a picture that was a photograph that was taken of my aunt and Maya. And then the illustrator took that picture and then added this picture, a separate picture, and combined the two to make them look like one. So, see. Then they have their the place where they hang their suits up. Their clothes are made from daisies. They use the tiniest petals. Spiders spin the thread for them. The needles are the nettles. Now, we talked about nettles in class. Nettles are like when you pick when you grab the stem of maybe a weed or a flower and it's a little prickly or it sticks you. Those are the nettles. So that's how, those are awfully tiny. Okay. They took their baths in morning dew. Their bathtubs were their flowers. They used silver threads from spider webs and played jump rope for hours. How tiny would you have to be to take a bath in a flower? Might be awfully tiny. Tiny. And see the tiny pink petals that they make their clothes out of? And the spider that spun the web, the thread. They played leapfrog with ladybugs. They played hopscotch with spiders. They loved to hide among the leaves. You know, they're such great hiders. They loved to laugh and they loved to sing. They even loved to dance. And they would sneak little kisses on your cheeks whenever they got the chance. This is Maya again when she was a baby. This is a picture. My cousin Corey is also a photographer. And this is a picture of his little girl that he actually took when she was a baby. Think about playing leapfrog with spiders. With a leapfrog with ladybugs. Sorry, and hopscotch with spiders. You'd have to be awfully tiny. Fairies are such shy things. You blink and then they're gone. But just be patient and you will see. I'll be back before too long. Nectar from the flowers is the only food they eat. They need lots of energy because they never, ever sleep. Now, nectar is what flowers make. Okay? That's the stuff that nectars. Pollen, and it's very sweet. I think we talked about maybe being like eating, for little bitty fairies like that, it'd be like eating a big pixie stick. All sugared up. It gives them lots of energy. Because during the day, they're out playing and being fairies, but at night, they put their suits back on and they turn back into fireflies. So they're on the go all the time. Maybe like a lot of you. Are you on the go all the time? Fairies don't always use their wings to fly up in the sky. Sometimes they like to take a ride on little dragonflies. When raindrops from summer showers start falling from the sky, you can find them under toadstools. They keep them nice and dry. Cool, huh? That's my uncle when he was a little boy. And these little boys, that's my oldest cousin, her oldest son, Chris, and Corey, Maya's dad. Okay. When the raindrops stop and all that's left are little streams that flow, acorn tops become little boats and sailing off they go. Sometimes a lily pad makes a perfect raft for sunning. They never stay in one place too long. Soon, they're off and running. And there's Maya again when she was a baby. And this little bitty one right here, that's my little niece, my youngest niece, Sophia. I call her Sophia Rose, but she prefers that I call her Sophie. So I say, okay, Sophie. And she giggles at me. She thinks I'm funny. I hope she never grows out of that. Sliding down bright rainbows is what they really love to do. I'd like to try that once myself. I'm sure that you would too. When the sun goes down again and sleep is in your eyes, the fairies turn on their little lights and turn back into fireflies. See, there's Maya again. That little sweet girl right there. There's my soon to be graduated Firefly Gracie. I just love the colors, the blues and the bright yellows in this book that the illustrator used. I think she did a great job. They're just bright colors and they're very eye-catching. They really make you take notice. So remember, when you catch a firefly, for them it's very scary. And if you don't let it go when the sun comes up, it can't turn into a fairy. Now, this is an actual picture taken of Maya sitting on the shore of the little lake where my aunt and uncle live. So that's kind of cool. This is a very personal book for my aunt. She knows everybody in there. And it took several years for her to write this book. She would get a line here or a line there. So it took a while, but she was very smart when she listened to her son, Corey, who said, Mom, you need to write this down. I think this would make a good book. So we're thankful to Corey that he gave my aunt that advice, and thankful to my aunt that she took it, because if not, we wouldn't have The Secret Lives of Fireflies. So this summer, when you are out, maybe camping or on a boat or swimming, or just spending time sitting on the porch or in a lawn chair, and you see the fireflies, now you know what's going to happen to them in the morning. So if you catch a firefly, let it go. Don't be very gentle, or be very gentle with it. Don't hold on to it and don't squeeze it too hard. I have a lot of kids who have told me, oh, I like to take the ends and squeeze them and rub that stuff on my arm. And I just think that's kind of cruel. You're just killing a bug just to be killing a bug. Let them go. Catch them, look at them, appreciate them, and then let them go and let them go do their thing. Let them turn into fairies in the morning. So that is my story for today. I will see you in a little bit. Bye.